You will sleep better than you have ever slept. You've never been this relaxed. Are you ready to change your life? I'm Rusty Diamond, certified hypnotist. You don't need to leave your house. You can stay in your bed. You can stay in your favorite chair. You just need a computer or your phone. You can get a hold of me. Stay at home. I'll make your life better.
Hypnosisisgreat.com.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Yo, man. Boom, Miss Rusty. What is up, everyone? It is Wednesday here on the Public Access Podcast, the podcast, now the podcast out of Pennsylvania, out of Intercourse, Pennsylvania, podcast, podcast, da 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 da. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. We are here. Yeah. I can only do so much without getting sued. So, I mean, I don't know. I assume their families still have that estate. And they've been dead for quite some time. Or is it just one of them? I don't know. But I don't know. You know how it goes. People die and there's all kinds of copyright stuff, and Disney messed most of that up. But I'm going to go and do what I can do and push that boundary. So thank you, everyone, for being here and listening and watching or whatever you're doing. Thank you for that. And because of that, I'm going to go and bring on my special guest. And my special guest is right here and right now. And my special guest is Sherille Marquez. How you doing, Sherille?
Hi, I'm excellent, Rusty and Rusty's audience.
All right. Yeah. Hello to my audience. Thank you. Thank you for being here and getting to do the show and, coming on a Wednesday, whatever Wednesday means to you, whatever any day of the week means to you. Well, I mean, what's a Wednesday, Wednesday late morning look like to you
Yes.
normally?
Well, it's 11 here in LA. And okay, I want to send whoever is listening in the colder parts of the world some sunshine, first of all.
Yeah.
It's 74 here. Yeah. Sorry guys, don't mean to be braggadocious, but I just honestly want to send you some sunshine. I have been on Zoom calls earlier. So on a typical Wednesday, honestly, it would be working out with my trainer, and getting to work on, like all the different things that I'm doing and working with clients and stuff like that. So
I mean, are your clients, are they local, or are you having to do a different kind of schedule since you're on the West Coast and it's you got to meet with people elsewhere?
Yeah, they're actually they're online. So like my coaching clients are online, and I take some one-on-one clients for my past life regression hypnosis, because the type of hypnosis which you appreciate, right? Like the
I
type
love that, one of my favorites.
Yes, the type of hypnosis that I do is a past life regression hypnosis developed by Dolores Cannon. However, her method is in person because we go deep. So that's her process.
Do you follow that?
Honestly, I do. I have, but I do know other people that don't.
I don't find it necessary at all.
You're,
I
you
have
know,
I haven't done a in-person past life regression in probably 5 years.
And you know what, Rusty, to be perfectly honest, as the recipient, because first of all, I love me some hypnosis. I was the type of person that said, don't mess with my mind. I don't want to be, barking, or I don't want anyone messing with my mind. But hello,
Sure.
that's just because I was not educated in the process, right?
Right.
So,
Common answer.
holy cow. Yeah. So I was that person. And because I listen to my divine guidance and intuition and my leads, even if I don't agree with it. It told me when I answered my calling for my business, okay, do this. This is the next step. First, it was holistic nutrition, then do the hypnosis. And I was obsessed with Dolores. So let me wrap that back around.
Sure.
I told you it felt like I was talking to an old friend already, just by what I saw.
Yeah.
So
Worked out all right.
it did. So you're absolutely right. As being the person, as the receiver of the hypnosis, the past life regression, I mean, you can get out of it. You are so conscious. So, technology allows us to have the ability to be able to serve our clients that want this help, that is from all over the world. Like, I have a client that came from the Philippines.
Sure. And
My
it's
gosh.
feels
Yes.
like you're right there next to him.
Yeah, yes. Well, she actually, well, thankfully, I was able to see her and kind of move my other clients around, because she really wanted to have a session with me in QHHT. And it just so happened that she went to a different state, and then like she made her way intentionally to come to LA on her way back to the Philippines, because she doesn't even live here.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
just
like she's
stop
lit.
by your place.
Mhm. Yeah, she
And
legit went around just to come by, and what an honor to help her. But with
yeah,
technology, we can help more people. But yeah, I feel like back in the day when it was first developed, like she didn't know that we could serve people in this way with, online. And yeah,
yeah, it was hard. It was
right.
hard convincing people. Like I started going fully online in March or April-ish 2019. And so um because yeah, I moved to Minnesota. I was thinking that like, oh, it's gonna be snowing 6 months out of the year. I'm never gonna be able to leave the house. I'm just gonna be snowed in. But I tell the story a lot. But it was one day I couldn't get out. But I mean, the rent was expensive, and I
Mhm.
was starting to work with people online, and people were still pretty apprehensive about it and wondering like, does this really work as well? And then March of 2020 hit, and everybody starts getting online and doing Zoom all
Mhm.
the time, and it becomes pretty accepted, and then it just kind of worked out after that pretty well. And I mean, yeah, I've met with a few people in person, but for the most part, I just I like having the ability to have like, I don't know, let's let people stay where they're comfortable, because as much as I think I could go and make a very comfortable place, it would be extremely comfortable to me, but I don't know if it would translate to everyone. And if they don't have a place that is calming and nice to them, like their best place to be in, if they want to come to meet me in an office of some sort, I can rent one out or go to a library or something if they really want to. But I don't know, like I like the idea of someone being able to go sit in a hammock outside,
Right.
or be in bed, or let me be in bed instead of going into an office.
I couldn't agree more with that, Rusty. And I like the flexibility of, offering that, because honestly, it's for our clients' comfort level, right? That's
Right.
ultimately the whole goal and purpose. Like, even if we have an idea of how much our space is nice, and I mean, I like nice things. I like to have, comfort and like that home feeling. But there have been times where I can't get the temperature right. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like these little things, like, okay, I'll have the, it's just different strokes for different folks. So yes, comfort first and foremost is key, because I also feel that it allows them to go deeper, because they feel safe.
Right.
What's that noise? What's this? They're in their own element. So yes, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to a hypnotist. I have a friend, and she's in Connecticut. I went and saw her before I left. And I mean, I was at her office, but then she just started saying, like, because when I had my office when I was in Portland, or near Portland, Oregon, and I lived like right next to a really busy road, and like I
Mm.
made sure that people would have, come in with noise canceling headphones or something. Or I had a pair that I would, give them. But she just would say, like, okay, hear that loud traffic, hear those things, just, that every time you hear that, it's going to get you deeper and deeper. And I was like, okay, well, that's a different approach. I wouldn't have thought of that, but it
That's a
worked out
good pivot.
okay. Yeah, I liked it a lot, and I wish I would have thought of that. Um,
That's a
and
great idea. Rusty, you gave me an
yeah,
idea.
yeah, if it doesn't have to be a bad thing that there's a lot of noise outside, you don't have to try to, hide it or anything. You just go along with it. And uh, I very much liked it. And so, yeah, it was the first time I had been hypnotized in a long time. And so it was nice to do that. And it was nice to do that in person too, rather than whatever else.
So
So go ahead.
yeah, sorry. That's my question, because I've not been hypnotized online. So for
Oh,
you, having experienced that in person, I've only ever done in person, like for myself. So how is that?
it's
What, like,
great.
oh
Like
my
I mean,
gosh.
so like sometimes I do it with some of the stuff that I do. I won't get into all this other stuff right now. But some people like don't even I don't have to even have their camera on if they don't want to have their camera on. And it's just, or like if they want to just call me up on the phone, I do it with people on the phone, and just that's works out fine. I mean, if they're more comfortable that way,
Yeah.
that's fine with me. But like some of the things where it's you have to, you know hold up a finger or something to show that, or whatever it is, hold up a finger, put your thumb up, raise your arm, or so that we can see their at whatever spot in their hypnosis. And I adapted it. I would ask people usually before, I would say, like, because sometimes, I'll get them and they'll be like this, and they're, putting their thumb up. I'm like, I can't see it. So I had to change that one pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I'll just tell them to say something like, hell yeah, or something, or let's go. What the kids say now, I guess. But, something like that. But there's been, stuff I'd have to go and change because people are sneaky
Hmm.
about things. Like, so like I don't like doing stop smoking. Like that's the one that was like kind of always like the bread and butter of hypnosis. And I don't I don't like doing it. And I don't know, it's an easy one to knock out, and you can charge more for it at the beginning. And just I mean, that's good, but it's not fun. And then I had to go and change it for people that I had two different people stop smoking cigarettes, but then started vaping. And so then
Oh,
I was like, oh, you're tricky. You're a tricky one. So
wow. Okay. Wow. You had to really like be specific with every.
yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, very much had
Got
to
it.
change that. And
Wow.
so that was that was a difficult one to figure out. But I would much rather do past life with people, because
Yeah.
I like when I see someone and they you tell them to look around and see their first whatever,
Mhm.
and just seeing their face light up, just
Mhm.
like, oh my God, what am I seeing? Like, so I use past life regression for people also who have, I'm going to put it in quotes, writer's block.
Oh, got
Um,
it.
so I mean, like if you're ever stuck on anything and you can't figure out what to write about, do go see Cheryl. If you're in LA, go get a go get a past life regression hypnosis, and you'll have plenty to write about after that.
Oh man,
And
yeah, just that clearing is phenomenal. And like they'll call me for one thing. And first, here's the thing, I don't work with everybody. And
right,
that's
neither
a
do I.
beautiful, we have to vet them out, and we have to make sure that we are aligned. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
Like, so I have to do a discovery call. If they even
me
pass
too.
that from the way that we're, if it's, text messaging or they're DMing me on Instagram or something, then
Yep,
then they'll hit the next mark. Okay, let's do a discovery call, and then let's see if not, if let's say it's something out of my scope, because I'm sure you do this too, then if you
right.
have the resource, you're gonna plug in your, like somebody that can actually help them if they have something more than what we can give them, which is like maybe they're schizophrenic or they're on
Right.
medication, I don't
Well,
know.
if they are schizophrenic, they can't be hypnotized
They, no, you're absolutely right, they cannot, because
or narcissistic,
their their sense of reality, right? Yes.
right?
Right.
And so then that's a hard thing too, is like, because you can sort of pick up on it sometimes, but not every time. And then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm sorry. It's just
Yes, and you follow your guidance, right, your intuition.
right,
Like if it doesn't sit right with you, and that's the problem with a lot of people. Like we, like our minds will play tricks on us and think that, what, trying to make sense of it, but yet our body, which is our divine intelligence, like this, our body is an antenna,
right, right.
and people don't
All
get
over.
that, and they turn it
Yeah,
off because they're led by their mind, which plays tricks on them as opposed to observing it. So
yeah. And there's no reason to not say no to someone. And people who don't, I question usually.
mhm.
Like if I have like anybody that's anything like from a doctor to a anybody else that's working on you, anyone that's a
Oh
mechanic or
yeah.
something or whatever, if they like if they're okay with passing you off to someone who can do better, then great. Don't like I don't want to turn somebody off to hypnosis because they don't like me.
Yeah,
and
understood.
and that's because, and I tell people that too. I'm straight up with them with that, and I will tell them like, this is something that you
Mhm.
should really do. And like, I lose clients, and I'm okay with that. But I would rather them go because I know it's the best thing for them. Like someone that really wants to stop smoking. I keep saying bring up smoking, but
Yeah, but it's a
you
big
know
thing.
it's a big thing. And I'm like, here's
Yeah.
somebody who will do it, and you probably will get along with better than you will with me. And I feel that you'll get a lot more out of it. But don't make me the judge of your reception or perception of hypnosis.
I
I don't
think
want
that's
that.
so, let's see, this is why I already connected with you, just how you were with your other your podcast guests, like the videos that I watched, and I wanted to
Yep.
watch it if it was available, because some podcasts they just do audio. So I
Right.
like to see the interaction, and you can really connect with people in that way. And so that's why, I'm so aligned with what you're saying, because it's really, if we're in this truly to help other people, then you have to be okay with, knowing that you can't help everyone, but at the same time, like also know that it's, don't take it personally. You're not going to
Yeah.
be for everybody. Like I'm not going to be for everyone as great as I
Right.
think I
Me.
am,
Yeah.
as great as you think you are. But
Right.
that's just the truth, but that doesn't mean that the next person. So yes, I have people that, do the same thing that I do. I even have therapists, if it's a different thing that they're really not, oh, you know what, okay, then perhaps they'll circle back. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
And,
building our network.
yeah, and even if they don't circle back, if they can get to something great, like
100%.
go for it, get there,
I
and
hope you get what you need. Yep.
yep. And yeah, I'd rather have that. I don't want to, yeah, have someone go, okay, well, you did this with me, and I didn't really enjoy myself. Like, one, I wouldn't let it get to that point where it was going to be a bad time. Like, I haven't had a hypnosis session where at the end someone doesn't feel great, and so
That's not happened to me, and I don't foresee that happening because we'd already stop it at that point. We
yeah,
wouldn't even go there, with them. I mean, we're here for them, right? Like we
right.
would know that already.
Yeah, we don't need to get
Mm-mm.
to some, trying to have everyone like us, at the detriment to their own
Yes.
getting better or, improving whatever it is. And so with the past life, was that the first hypnosis that you experienced? Did you
Yes.
go
Yeah.
get your past life done?
Yes, I did. So, yep, I've had it done for me. And wow, well, obviously I learned it first, right? I learned it first. And then, but I want to know what they were feeling. Always wanted to self-experiment. Like even when my son was going through cancer, he had to have
Whoa.
chemo. Yeah, my son, thank God, he's been in remission now for 16 years. He's 19.
Whoa. That's
Yes, and
great.
yes,
Wow.
thank God. And when he
Yeah.
was 3 was when I found out, and I was 6 months pregnant at the same time. So
Whoa.
if like like you would never think that something like that could happen to you. So, illness is not something that we deal with in our family outside of like the diabetes. Hello, Filipino culture and their diet is not very healthy, so
Yeah.
that's pretty prevalent. But like cancer is not something in a child too, man. I'll tell you this much, like it is something that you can only honestly take minute by minute, day by day, hour by hour, because you don't know. So I would, like I said, self-experiment with his medicine, and I will eat the oatmeal in which I mix the medicine in, because sometimes there's powder form, and then he also had a port. Um, he had a port which will get directly instead of going through his vein. It's connected to his vein. His medicine, his chemo will go there directly. And I'd even play games with him. I'll be like, oh, buddy, you're Iron Man, and it's time for, and I still get emotional because obviously, like, I still have
Whoa.
somewhat of a PTSD, and I feel like I will. Um, like, buddy, you're Iron Man. Like, it's time to get your superpowers, and it helps. So yeah, no, I would do all these like different like mindset shifts and um food experimentation. For me, I'll taste it first and I'm like, oh my God, this tastes like shit. I need to put a little bit more, like maybe
Right.
honey, to like have him take it, because that's the only
Whoa.
way.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, you wouldn't know that it tastes like shit
No,
if
exactly. So
you would just,
yeah, so I
wow.
needed to be that person to let me see what these clients are experiencing. And no, it is the bomb. If you guys ever have a chance, like see Rusty, or like he does it online too, and perhaps I'll move in that direction, hit us up, guys, because man, it's an incredible experience.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a, you know, way to, tell you what you're getting with Cheryl here, telling that story. I mean, that's what, yeah, you gotta know what you're getting into. And I think that was important with hypnosis. Like, I think, because yeah, I mean, like with my training, it was all just, not all, but like we did pretty much maybe 80 to 90% of our class was just doing hypnosis on each other. And and then I think it's important to know like what you're going through. So like if I think of something like, oh, this would have been a little better if I could, like when I got to this part, if I had someone do this as well
Mm-hmm.
and add that little bit in, put a little bit of honey on there because this kind of tastes like shit right here.
Mm-hmm.
And you just, you go and you learn from it. But I think it's really, yes, a big help to be able to having done it first. And plus, it just feels so great to get hypnotized anyway. And when you hypnotize other people, it feels great to
Oh
hypnotize
my
you.
gosh.
You get
Yes.
hypnotized too. So,
There's, yeah, it's just, I feel like it's such a win-win. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah,
gosh, and the energy that I had a somnambulist, and if the audience doesn't know what a somnambulist is, and
I do
like,
not.
okay, so a somnambulist is somebody that goes deep like this quickly, and they don't, because with hypnosis, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, they work in tandem to help the client. And so it's like you're in a dreamlike state. You're conscious and you're an active participant, but not in, not in the way where we're actually in like consciously that much in control, like we're at ease, right? Like a dreamlike state. A somnambulist goes in deep, and they actually mostly will not remember their session.
Okay.
But the great part is I record the session, so it's in their voice. And yeah, so the somnambulist, one of my favorite experience with the somnambulist is she spoke English fine, great. But at some point, as I was guiding her and taking her through her journey of, like the beautiful place, I was starting to build the scene for her, right?
Yeah.
She went back to her early days. I think she was maybe 2 years old, et cetera, et cetera. The goal of this type of hypnosis is to connect them with their higher self, not the subconscious mind like in the traditional psychology. It's like the oversoul. It's the metaphysical subconscious mind, where it's their higher self that knows everything about us, right? So she switched to speaking Spanish. And I was like, thankfully, I have, I know enough Spanish. And at, speaking with her in Spanish, and I think she was like who she ended up connecting with, she ended up channeling with a deceased sister. And so I kept saying, is this, so and so, my client's name? And so then the sister said, no, soy es, like, and very like with conviction. And I'm like, okay. So that's when I realized, I was like, oh, snap. She just channeled her deceased sister. And the message was so beautiful, Rusty. She said, I don't want her to suffer anymore. She's such a good person. She helps everybody. And like, the stress that she has in her life, I just want her to enjoy her life. Long story short, fast forward, I took her out of it, right? She felt super relaxed, as all the clients do, because they're just super relaxed. And she didn't
Yeah.
remember anything. And I said, we gave a little recap, which I do. And she
Yeah.
was like, whoa, no way, no way. My sister, and I knew nothing. Like, I knew nothing. She came to
Right.
me because she was hella stressed with her life and blah, 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 kids. So anyway, I just played a little clip of her video, or her voice note that we recorded.
Yeah.
She obviously, as I was, blown away. And she has that forever. And she just was transformed from that. I mean, to hear your sister give you a message that is just specific for you, that only you know, like an accident that she had and the blah blah blah. Holy moly. I was like, damn, this is legit. That's what I was like. And people ask me, I don't know if people ask you this, like, so do you use any tools? Do you use, like, whatever? I'm like, yeah, I do. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
actually
You have
don't
the
use
pocket
that.
watch.
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm like, yeah, I do. It's my voice. Holla. And they're
Yeah.
like,
Right.
what? Your voice? I'm like, yes, I have a different voice from my speaking voice. I have a hypnosis voice, actually. And they were like, whoa.
I mean, it's important to, yeah, have that part. And like, it's funny with the pocket watch. I have one, but I've never used it. It's just like a funny thing to do. Like,
Right.
oh yeah,
Yes.
I have a pocket watch, and um, it's I don't there's just nothing like it. And I was so against believing any of it was true. I I was such a cynic when I started in. And if you want to hear my story at some point,
Yes.
I've told well, I've okay. I
Oh,
mean,
I'm like, yes.
I've told it a lot of times, but and I so I don't want to like, but
Okay.
the short of it, yeah, I was on the road doing a lot of physical stuff, and I ended up uh busting my knee, and I didn't know what to do then after that. Got really depressed,
Mm.
went to a therapist. She gave me a book, and it had two jobs in it. One was a Reiki, one was a hypnotist. And I thought, okay, all hypnotists could be interesting. So I typed in hypnosis training in Portland and called up the first one, talked to the guy for like 20 minutes, and he said, "Hey, come on in like on Monday and we'll talk some more." And then talked to him for like an hour and a half and told him, I'm like, look, I'm from the world of professional wrestling. I don't trust 95% or anything I see, 95% of what I see or 95% of what I hear. Like, it's just like a magic show, right? Like
Yep.
somebody's gotta be in on it. And like, well, try it for yourself. And like, I mean, he got me to sign up for the class right there, and I barely got through middle school, high school, college. Don't know how I got through any of those. Just by this much each one of them. And but this like hypnosis, I was top of my class. Like I loved
I
it. I
bet.
just it was something like, okay, this is something I enjoy and I'm good at, and kept saying hypnosis is great over and over, and I wouldn't shut up about it, and I still won't. And it's been yeah, like 5.5 years, I guess. And Um, but I mean, if I wouldn't have stepped in a hole, I wouldn't have ever.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing how like I don't know if you have heard or believe in like the soul contracts that
What do you mean?
soul contracts is a philosophy that we have already signed up for our roles and the experiences that we want to achieve in this lifetime or experience for the growth of our soul. And so when you hear people saying, and here's the thing too about like the stuff that's on social media that's so commercialized, they don't really know where it's coming from. Like, yeah, you're saying the cliche, like you are the actor, the director, the producer of your life. Do they even know where that damn thing came from? Do they even know that it stems to soul contracts? Which means
Right.
that people sat like visually, for the visual people like me, people sat in a boardroom, soul sat in a boardroom, and you are the presenter asking them, okay, what role do you want to play in my life? Oh, you're my best friend in this lifetime. Well, okay, you'll be my nemesis in the next lifetime. I think that'll be a fun role for you. So they collaborate. Then everyone, usually about like 50 souls, okay, will usually they will reincarnate back. I mean, they will reincarnate into the next lifetime together. And
Yeah.
so yeah, so the people that's pissing you off, your nemesis here in this lifetime could very well be your best friend. And so for me, having a perspective like that, it just shifts things that I have a deeper understanding, a level of seeing that shit, life's not happening to me, it's happening for me because I signed up for this. Of course, there's free will. We're the only like species that can actually have free will. And that's why I'm so passionate, Rusty, about, you know, just spreading the message and uplifting humanity that, my God, if you guys just knew, you really know who the hell you are, who the fuck you are actually,
Right.
you wouldn't be playing it so small. Like you would just, be in the arena, get your ass kicked, but fight back. Because who
Right.
you become on the other side, like you said, if you hadn't stepped in that thing, of the abyss of shit. Like, yeah,
Right.
for our expansion. When people come to me and you know, I do a discovery call with them, they're telling me like, you know, oh my gosh, I'm going through this and this and that. And of course, yes, I will sympathize with them. But I hold people to their highest light. That's why I'm not for everybody. Like
Yep.
if you want to transform, I'm going to help you. I'm also not going to coddle you because I know your potential.
Yep.
Okay? If you're here experiencing this great awakening and you're alive at this point in time right now, then damn, good for you. You signed up for it because you're tough. I'm just here to remind you and guide you and reconnect you with the truth of who you are. And so I tell them, well, congratulations. You're being given an opportunity to grow and expand. That's what it is. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So
And,
are we going to get to work or not? That's
yeah.
that. That's why it's only 15 minutes when I have a discovery call, because I can tell already.
Right. So you can. What do you do with the other 14 minutes and 59 seconds?
I'll be like, okay, we're gonna do this, this, that. Yeah, no, we
Yeah.
just, yeah, I'll just, you know, it's just freestyle. But yes,
Right.
you know, yeah.
Which is nice too. Like being able to just freestyle with it, just being able to
Yeah.
go, and that's what it is. And I mean, I've thought about, had I not stepped in the hole, like what I'd be doing, I'd just be doing. I wouldn't have grown. There, like you said, I would have just sort of stayed stagnant. Like
Mhm.
I haven't had any, besides kind of what I was doing, like, and it was only sort of, but like, and sometimes, but like, I didn't have a job that I ever enjoyed and like enjoyed doing any of that stuff. It was always like, this is what I have to do. This is it. And it was a
Mhm.
shitty way to go through it. Now I mean, I love Monday mornings. Monday mornings, I'm up at, 4:30 in the morning. I'm ready to go. And, it's 1:30 on the West Coast. So it's usually not talking to too many people on the West Coast right at that point. But I mean, I'm up, I'm happy. I'm glad I get to do what I'm doing. And I I mean, like I want other people to be able
Mhm.
to learn hypnosis. And like the guy who taught me, that was kind of his goal, and I appreciated that a lot. Like he wants everybody to learn how to hypnotize themselves. And I mean, you're open to it, if you're not open to it, I don't know what I can tell you to try to persuade you to do it. But I mean, if you're even thinking about it, go do it. Find a way to do it. Even if you want to just go and do like a relaxation thing, go on YouTube
Mhm.
and do one of those. I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
go find out about it. You're gonna get hooked, and there's like, because I started going on down some other paths. Like before I left Portland, I was going to I got into like float tanks.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, and so in float tanks, when you're about to get out, when it's time to get out, they like turn on a speaker and turn the music up a little bit, like sort of like at award shows when it's time to get off stage, you're done, or they're giving you the light at a show to get off the stage. It was like that, and I was like, well, if you're putting the sound in at the end, couldn't I just put the sound in like the whole time and get hypnotized while you're doing that? Because in hypnosis, because I started thinking like massages, like if I could, because I was getting massages at the time, because I was, still like just kind of getting over this injury, or not getting over, but working on it. And, but, um, you're not allowed to be in the same room if you're hypnotizing someone that, or at least in Oregon, it was the law. But if someone else is naked, you're not allowed to be in the same room with them hypnotizing them. It might be the guild. It might be the guild like rule, but I believe that's what it was. but I was thinking that, so I'm like, okay, well, what's like the next best thing that, and so like in the float tank, so like I went with my friend Crystal, and she had been hypnotized by me for, I was like just starting out doing a lot of the, progressive relaxation, basic hypnosis thing. And I made a recording for both of us to play, and we both went into our own tanks. And for like the first 20, 25 minutes, had that hypnosis, and then had, I think they were like 2 hour sessions, then just got to sit in this relaxing, you know, body temperature float, all black, all
That is
silent
freaking cool.
experience. Yeah. And so, um, that's been something that I've wanted to get out more. And I think, you know, I'd like to see more people be able to do that and start putting things together. But
You know,
um,
you
yeah,
actually reignited my interest in the float tank because I have all these interests and things that I want to do and all this and all that. And so that's one of them. So thank you. I just wrote it down again.
have you ever done a float tank?
Not yet.
Okay,
Oh gosh. I mean I looked into it and I never, not that I didn't want to. It's just, then life distraction and then I forgot about it. But you just
so
reminded me. Thank you.
you're welcome. Here's the thing about them. So they have two different types. There's the kind that looks like an egg that opens up like this,
Yeah.
like a clamshell kind of a thing. Don't go to those ones. They have other ones that you go into, and it's like there's a little first corridor where you have a shower, and then you walk into a room that's almost like an actual room, and there's a big, like, tub, and like the room like fully shuts off. I feel like with the egg clamshell, they don't get fully dark and fully silent. You can still like see little slivers of
Like,
light, but if you can get in one of these rooms where it's a
okay.
whole room that you can close yourself into, the experience is, night and day, for lack of a better term. But that's the way to do it, and
Okay.
it's so cool.
So it's total silence. Is that how it is? Okay,
Uh-huh,
this is,
yeah,
I feel like, okay, I might be blending like some scary thing at the same time. Like
it could
is
be.
this like the total silence where I feel like I read somewhere that people couldn't handle it because they've never experienced silence ever
Right.
or
It's
something
not
like
like
that.
the negative silence. I forgot what it is. There's some room where they have all this soundproofing stuff in it,
Yes,
and
that's
you
the
can.
one. That's two
Okay,
different things. This
so
is
two
not
different
that.
things. Yeah,
Yes. Okay,
where you
good.
can
I'm
like
glad we're talking
hear,
about this.
yeah, hear your blood moving through your body and
Shoot, yeah,
stuff.
I'm like, why the hell would I want to do that? I want to do the
Yeah,
therapeutic kind that makes
yeah,
me feel good. Like I'm not trying to face any fears of silence.
yeah.
I want to help myself.
It's not that one. This one is silent and like
Oh, I love it.
and yeah, it's so I mean it's the water's, I think, 50 pounds of Epsom salt. And so yeah, you're totally buoyant, and the water goes like just above your ears. So, you can go and flip over, but then you just kind of like flip right back,
Oh
and
my gosh.
just sort of, you can't really tell where your body ends and
That
where the
is
water begins.
cool.
And so yeah, it's a great experience.
I'm
And
so gonna be researching
yeah,
this now as soon as we're done.
and
I'm doing that.
and if you can get a hypnosis, if you can get them to slip in a hypnosis tape in there for you when you're doing it, add that to it.
This
And
is a great tip, Rusty.
yeah,
Thank you. You are
you're
leveling
welcome.
up my first experience. So, oh, hell yeah. I know what
Yeah,
to ask for and
it's
what to
it's
look for.
it's what it's all about. It's like once you can find out something that feels good, like how
Share
can
it.
I make it feel better? Yeah, and share it.
Yeah,
Share
I'm very
share
big
that
about
wealth.
that. I am
And
so big on that. I don't gatekeep, why?
yeah, why?
Like, why?
Why?
And I give so much value too. Like, people are like, I have people asking me, Cheryl, why aren't you charging for the shit that you're telling people? And I'm like, Why though? But because you know what, when we actually go in it, like when they actually work with me, there is so much more. This is
Right.
like, it seems like a lot of value for them, and from, yeah, of course it is, it can help you transform. Well, good, great. Well, shit, that's the whole point. But like, really, there's so much more that we can get into, that we do, because that's just, you know what I mean, like top level, like
Right.
surface stuff, I should say, surface.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, getting like I have a thing. I still I didn't charge for working with people with PTSD for a long time
Mm,
because I know how what that can do in an hour, hour and a half. Like can
yeah.
totally change someone's life, and usually whatever it is that whatever they think that the PTSD is, usually it's
Mhm,
not that. It's usually something before that
mhm.
that made that event harder. And then you can go back to that event eventually, but you got to go back before you can go forward. And just that's another one that I'm just seeing people afterwards. Like, I can't, like, I feel bad. I wish I didn't have to charge it for any of my hypnosis. And like,
I know, but we live in
it's
the 3D world,
right.
it's an
Yep.
energy exchange. So
Yep.
unfortunately, like we do have to, because we live here. And here's the thing, like it doesn't serve people to be broke.
Right.
Okay. Because how the heck can you help somebody, like even the like somebody that doesn't have a meal? I love to be able to just be able to give freely, and that requires money, guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just the
In one way or
that's just
another.
the fact. Hello.
Yeah. And
We live in a material world. I mean, if we're in 5D, which is in our inner state, and you and I are meeting, connecting in our inner state, we don't need money there. It's an energy exchange, vibes,
yeah.
right? But we're here
Right.
in 3D. So
And so then I have another question. So with your past life and work and that sort, do you ever do uh, dream recall, dream recall, or do you do or any other recall like with people who have had alien encounters?
um let's see, so not in a dream sense, but while I've had rocks, I've had past life, like when I've taken them through their past life, and a lot of them also stay in their current life. And here's the thing, your higher self, your subconscious, the higher, the oversoul, will take you to the points in your life where you need it the most. So we can't, we're just guiding, we're not controlling the situation, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had, so not in a dream sense where I'm intentional about that, it's a dream we're analyzing or we're going into hypnosis for. We could ask that, yeah, of course. When we get to the part where I connect them to their higher self, and there's questions, they can ask whatever questions they want, and I have these prompts, if they need like ideas, like what's my purpose in life, and am I going to meet my soulmate, what do I need to be like, blah blah blah. So but aliens, yeah, it's
Yeah.
freaking cool. I had a
Yeah.
client that was like, oh my gosh, was like this blue being from the planet Sirius, and like landed in the timeline of the my gosh, the Atlanteans abused the power of crystals, and people don't get, like, crystals is not okay. Just side note, I have been into all of this since, I almost said the beginning of time, but since I could remember. And when you have a burning desire and passion that you're so into and you don't know why, it's because it's something that you were good at in your past lives. Metaphysical, like I love metaphysics, and I always
Yeah.
have been. I
Yeah.
always have since I was little. I am
Oh,
I'm the black sheep of the family, because I would have crystals like when I was little, and they're like, what the hell is that? I'm Filipino, man. Like, they don't do
yep.
that.
There's not a lot of Filipinos that carry around crystals,
Crystals or do hypnosis,
or yeah, or do
So
hypnosis. Yeah.
yeah, so I was always that, man, you're crazy.
Yep.
Oh, who's crazy now? When I'm
Right.
manifesting things, I'm like, watch me. It sounds crazy, but
Right. But
man,
we do
oh,
it.
and it happens, yeah, because people need to see before they believe. So here you
Right.
go. Here you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Rusty, what were you saying? It's freaking
Oh
awesome.
no, I was gonna say like I did my first past life, and one of the things I was a shaman in like New Mexico, and I was like, okay, well that one makes sense,
That
and
so makes sense.
yeah, and that but another one was the last one I think I was or one of the first ones I was like a lizard, and like a lizard or a gecko or something, and well, I forgot the third one. I talked with the woman that hypnotized me for it because I'd forgotten all about this, and I had her on the show and we talked about it. But yeah, I forgot what it was. But I mean, the shaman thing was like, okay, that, and then like
Totally.
why I felt like I've always like kind of been, felt like that's kind of been a place where I feel like
Mm.
seems something
It
like the place I
resonates with
should be.
you. You know
Yeah,
what's so interesting to like when you say shaman, in one of when I got when because for the alien, like that was one of my clients. So she was, observing. She was an alien in one of her past lives. I was actually, and this happened twice already, one in a more current form, like a wild, wild west era, but then the other one, I was like a Native American medicine woman, but I was one of the earliest in my tribe, or not earliest, youngest in my tribe. I think like maybe, because they're elders, right? And
right.
so they had like when I was being guided through this, I was in a, gosh, what do you call that? A ceremony,
Yeah,
and they were initiating me to be like an elder, but I was honestly like young. I was like maybe 19, 18, 20. I was a young woman, and but I was amongst the elders because I had that gift. And so they passed around like um this liquid or whatever that, they everyone did, and they prayed over it, and then we drank it, and it was freaking incredible, which made so much sense for what I'm doing, like
yeah.
in the coaching and the, the healing. And it's so bomb. It's so bomb.
Maybe that's where I know you from.
That's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah,
there's no accidents. Like, you could be, like one of the 50 people that we reincarnated with. Like, we could have
right.
been super major homies back then.
Yeah,
Kindred
easily.
spirits, you don't
Yeah,
know easily.
yeah, and then we're here again in the
Exactly. In this
this
avatar, you don't know. Yeah.
whatever this is,
Whatever this is. So,
whatever it is.
but honestly, Rusty, if you are ever in LA, hit me up.
Yeah. Okay,
And
I have a
yeah,
buddy there. Yeah, and so yeah, or if you're ever out in the Amish country or whatever, or
well, you never
uh,
know. You never
yeah,
know. I will.
yeah. So where can people find you that are in LA or that are not
Oh
LA?
my God. Look at how fast the time went by.
That's what happens.
Dang.
That's what happens.
That's what
It,
happens when you're with,
hypnosis. Yeah,
shoot, hypnosis is great.
yeah. Hypnosis is great. Right there, you go.
Yes.
Yeah, when you're with good
Um,
people, time flies.
oh my gosh, right? Okay, so first and foremost, I'm so grateful to you and your show and your audience for, having me and listening.
Thank you.
And they can find me on my website, SherileMarquez.com, and we'll have to spell that out,
Yeah,
SHERILLEMARQUEZ. And same thing with my socials, especially Instagram. I'm really active there.
that's your place. Okay, I'll make sure I get a good Instagram post on there because everyone's kind of all over
Yeah,
where they post or what they post on. So yeah, thank you again for being on. I'm happy we got to meet again. Then
same.
we'll go with that. And yeah, get you back here and if you like in
Oh,
March or
please.
something.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. You just let me
Yeah.
know and I'm there.
Okay. Yeah. I'll get you. Yeah. So let's do that. And yeah, go hypnotize someone and hypnotize yourself and feel great. And yeah, we'll talk soon. All right.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. That's Sherille Marquez. So you guys check her out because that's what this was about. Go check out her other stuff. So you got to see what it's like to have a conversation, interact with her. That's what I want on the show. That's what you got to do. It's important. You got to know the people, and she is cool because she'll turn people away if they're not for her. And that's a good thing that I appreciate about her and other people who do that. So check her out. And if you mention this show, guess what? That means you're getting something good because, of course, you do. So if you mention this show, what do you get from Cheryl? What do you think you get from Cheryl? Well, I will tell you what you get from Cheryl. You get 10% off any coaching package. And all they need to do is mention me or the podcast to get the discount. So just say old Rusty Diamond sent you. And that is the show, man. Boom.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.